Now arriving at South Kensington. South Kensington. This is a service to Flinders Street, stopping all stations direct to Flinders Street. Now arriving at North Melbourne. Change here. Services. North Melbourne. Change here for Upfield, Craigieburn services. This is a service to Flinders Street, stopping all stations direct to Flinders Street.
Hey Rex, I'm in Melbourne today. Yeah, Melbourne, Australia.
Now arriving at Southern Cross. Southern Cross. This is a service to Flinders Street, stopping all stations direct to Flinders Street. Flinders Street, stopping all stations direct to Flinders Street. arriving at Flinders Street. This train will be terminating at Flinders Street. Flinders Street. This train will be terminating at Flinders Street.
The Cowboy Brothers? Indeed, it is true. Yes, of course. He's our Lord, he's our King, and he's died for our sin. So thank you so much for spreading this beautiful message throughout the world. I really appreciate it. Hey y'all, I came here today in Melbourne City, in the downtown, to show you the top spot. So stay with me for a few seconds, and I'm reaching there. Thank you. Hi Rex. Hi Bryson. Hi brothers. That's a floating boat over there. They used it as a bar or restaurant, but at night it's looks so fine. They also it's like a private dining. They are having some food and enjoying the city view on Yara River. So there's a lot of experience in this particular spot. There's some street food on the east side, starting from like after 10 o'clock, especially in the weekends, starting from Friday to the until Sunday midnight. So this is a very really famous spot in the downtown of Windows Street. This is the main street station, train station. Yara River. So it's really affordable compared to other place, like enjoying in the boats, the small boats, for a couple, for family, and it's based on your private choice. So I really recommend everyone to come and enjoy in the weekdays, especially if you got time and if you live near Melbourne. Many people say Sydney is the face of Australia and Melbourne is the heart of Australia, and I agree, to be honest. Yeah, the particular trip with my boys. I think since family. Yes, please. Okay. All right. He's like, oh, okay. So, like a landscape or this way is it? Okay. Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Give some comments and then I can. Oh yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3, 2. It's good. Done. Okay. Have a good day, guys. Oh, what a lovely day. Yeah, they were like political friends. They were enjoying the river view. So they asked me to take them a photo. It's really fun. I can see some pasta and mostly Indian food. It seems Indian food, yeah. Wow, it looks yummy. Nice. Enjoy, bro. Yeah, last night I went there. So those things are most of them street foods in the evening. I checked them last night and it's so fire. Yeah, I've been in some part of Southeast Asia and yeah, I think the people, most of them is from there, who own the street food and it's really interesting. Okay, guys, I'll go on the other side and shoot the rest and it's gonna be fire, I guess. Maybe we can see some beautiful ducks on the side. So it's really nice walkway, and the weather is so nice. It's not hot. I mean, probably it's a little cloudy, but it's good to have a walk. I believe I can fly. It's produced by me. No sound at all. Oh, I saw a beautiful birds over there. Beautiful. I really like the boat trip, to be honest. So there are like plenty of people. I think they can own that. Okay. All right. Let me rent that and let's see the real part, how it's feel. Yeah, they'll provide the food. Want to experience everything. So let's go get it. Beautiful duck. Where you going? Let's see if she just passed through that way. Let's see. No, 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 no. She's getting the end of the block. So let's give her some space. Here now I'm gonna show you the floating uh, cafe. I think they also got a bunch of beer. So let's see.
We got to go under here.
Yeah, this is a floating restaurant. There's a buzz on it. You can guys put your feet over there and chill, drink, get some drink. It's literally floating, and it's in the middle of the river. So it has a lot of stuff. Yeah, if you guys came the river after like 6 p.m., 6, 7, I highly recommend this floating bar. So it's safe, it's very polite, the waitress very polite, and a lot of activities. And also they have some upstairs also. They got a beautiful spot to the river, the city, and outside. They call it rooftop. It's class two, but they only got a rooftop on the second floor. So alright, I really love it actually. Having a work on island, I really love it. Didn't show on the ground side, so I'll go upstairs and I'll be on that bridge and we'll show the view of the side and it's gonna be fire. So guys, this is the tallest building in Melbourne. So it's on the 97th floor. So even if you go there, you're gonna pay like I'm a student, so I have a concession, 10%, and I paid $45. It was last year, and I tried to see the city from the top side, but it was cloudy. I couldn't see far, but I tried to cover some place. So it's really beautiful from the top. That's this building. All right. Yeah, let's go up and explore the city a little bit for 20, 25 minutes. Did you? So this is the place where you got your ticket for the cruise. And here this is the main city. And as you can see the live music. I'm going to show the and first I'll go to this side. Demonstration for this PPG terrain.
And in order to explain why it's so important to meaningful, so please bear with me. The year was 1853. We're a couple of years into the gold rush, and the place is Ballarat. Big gold mining town. It's that 90-minute drive away I went to uni. Now, by this point, most of the alluvial surface gold you can just pick up and grab. That's all been found, so people are having to dig deeper and deeper. So, and at this point, I should also say, only land-owning white men could vote in the colony of Victoria. So a lot of these gold miners didn't tend to be that. Even if they were white men, they were poor people coming here from all over the world. They wouldn't have owned land in this colony. So the government saw them as an easy way to make a bit of quick cash. So they introduced something called a mining license. This is a license that let you dig in a 12-foot by 12-foot square, and soldiers would actually come along with a big measuring tape. Make sure you weren't digging outside your square. There was no guarantee of finding any gold with one of these licenses. They didn't last very long, only a month. Then you had to buy another one, and they kept upping the price more and more and more until, in today's money, you'd be looking at about $3,000 a month for these mining licenses. Eventually, the group of miners in Ballarat, they all got together and they said enough is enough, and they ceremonially burnt their mining licenses, and then they rejected the British flag, and they designed and pledged allegiance to a new flag. Dark blue background, white cross, stars on the ends of the cross. So you can read the flag I pointed out on top of Federation Square. Now the government, they took one look at this and said it's treason then, and set up a load of professional soldiers from Melbourne to reinforce the police in Ballarat. The miners had built a stockade on a hill in Ballarat, and they've been arming themselves in the weeks prior. Now, this is technically considered Australia's only armed rebellion, the closest thing we've had to a civil war or a secession or anything like that, and it lasted for 10 minutes. The Battle of the Eureka Stockade, it's often called, I would use the word massacre. The miners thought that there was no way the government would attack them on a Sunday, so they all got absolutely blind drunk on Saturday night. That was a miscalculation, because they got a bunch of these hungover miners got attacked, and it was a bit of a massacre. At least 22 miners were killed. Probably more died of their wounds later in the bush, not wanting to come out and face the consequences. And at least 7 police officers died as well. We know that. Now, the ringleaders, about 13 people, they were rounded up and brought back to Melbourne to be placed on trial for high treason. Now, a jury was impaneled, and the presiding judge was your friend and mine, Reddy Betty, at the start of the tour in one of his first trials as a judge. Sitting up there, he looks over the evidence, and this should be pretty open and shut. There's a lot of evidence to say these people did what they're saying, and a lot of precedent that it does amount to treason. But the jury can't come to a verdict. They can't decide one way or the other. That's fine, says Barry. He throws out the jury, and he impanels another one. And that jury couldn't come to a verdict. Okay, this is weird, he says. So he throws out that jury, and he impanels another one, and that jury can't come to a verdict. Eventually, Barry says, this is a waste of time, it's a waste of taxpayer money, and he throws out the case and lets all 13 of the ringleaders go without so much as slapping the ring. This was a huge blow to the power and prestige of the Victorian colonial government. An institution, you have to remember, was 2 years old. It only became a colony in 1861. 100 people, like they had about 13,000 people openly commit treason against them, and these 13 ringleaders, 7 police officers in the process, walked away scot-free. The reason none of these juries could come to a verdict is only land-owning white men were allowed to vote. These were not the only people that could be impaneled on a jury. This had become to be seen as a fight for representation with this Eureka Rebellion at its center. People thought, actually, it was unfair what was happening to these miners. Maybe they should have a voice in parliament. Actually, maybe all of us who don't own land should have a voice in parliament. When these miners were let go, there were massive parties in the streets of Melbourne and Ballarat. And the next year, after this huge push for voting reform, the vote was extended in Victoria from all land-owning white men to all white men. That doesn't sound like a lot to us today, but it was a pretty radical first step at the time. And what's more, it created an air of political malleability. This idea that things could change. This brand new colony had just radically changed its voting laws. And then a new colony was established about 4 years later in Queensland, and they needed to decide what their voting laws were going to look like. So they looked at what had happened in Victoria, and it was very hard to stop this ball rolling once it started. This idea that things could change was really persistent even after Federation. Australia shortly afterwards kept changing how it voted to be more and more democratic. Today, Australia has one of the best democratic indices in the world, and it all sort of started back then. This movement really culminated in 1895 when New Zealand became the first place in the world to grant universal suffrage to women. So it spread all throughout these colonies. And then shortly after, Australia would become the second place in the world to do so as well in 1902. We're talking 30 years before places like the UK or the US. And a lot of people trace these really forward-thinking voting reforms all the way back to the Eureka Rebellion. Brings me back to this building. Firstly, I said the soldiers would come along with big measuring tapes. Make sure you weren't digging outside your plot. What does that building look like? It's built to look like a big measuring tape. Like that. It's also built in the colours of the Eureka flag. It's got this gold block up the top to remind us of our history in the gold rush. When the sun rises at the time of the year of the rebellion, hits the gold, reflects the lovely wash back over the city. And there is a sheet of 24-karat gold in the centre of that to give it its colour. Don't worry, we're still in Victoria. But my favourite detail is the red bar. That red bar is exactly 22 metres long, represent the blood of the 22 people we know had to be spilt fighting for these crimes. Fantastic building, also home to the Eureka Sky Deck, the official best view of Melbourne. It is a phenomenal view, but it is also really expensive, and I kind of think it's not worth it. So I'm going to take you to our final stop, where I'm going to show you some other alternate views of the city that I think are really good and a little bit cheap. Before we walk, though, I've got this QR code. you want to give this a scan, it'll take you to a spot where you can leave a review for us. Reviews are really important to how we run a business like this. Helps get the word out, get more people on the tour. If you want to mention me by name, my name was Kieran, Kieran. That way my boss knows I did a great job.
It's called Italic Garden. It's literally on the heart of the city. If I walk like 10 minutes, it's one of the Melbourne beautiful botanical garden. There's a lot of like plant species out there, so I'm gonna show you next week definitely. So I'll be here for a long time. So I think I didn't notice this kind of traffic jam in Melbourne because substrate active volume ratio is very high, but now I think they are maintaining some mode over here. That's why this kind of traffic jam you guys see today, but it's not usual at the same time. There's pretty many gardens, to be honest, in the heart of the city. So this is one of it. And I really like the workplace. Nice weather, smiley people here and there. I recommend everyone to inhale the like taking a fresh air, like good vibe. Look at couples here and there, enjoying life, like thinking about the future, like putting their short-term and long-term plans. Really fantastic place. There, look at that. So all arts has